Yo, what is going on, guys? Crypto Vibes here, also known as Crypto. Bring you guys another video, and today, guys, we are coming at you with Week 3 matchup in the Remnants League, going up against Maine and his Sacramento Hoopas. And if you guys haven't kept up with the season so far, we're actually starting off pretty well, starting off 2-0 at +9, I believe, coming into this match. So yeah, pretty good start, and it just so happens we are facing the #1 team in the league at the moment, right above us at 2-0 +11. So that is Maine and his Sacramento Hoopas. So yeah, he's had a great start, and it should be a good matchup overall. Little backstory on Loman. We've actually been in a couple leagues together before. I believe the first league we were in together was like a doubles league, but like he was on a different team than me. Never got a chance to face him or anything. This coming to this match is like the first match we've like a legit match we've had facing each other, which is pretty cool. So definitely want to try to my best, of course, like every week. But this is one I definitely want to try to win, because he's a really good opponent, and he's shown it so far this season. And he's got a ridiculous team to back it up, man. This team is nasty. He's got sort of more stuffy, guys. Just feeling a little under the weather, I guess, but it's just really cold outside, so yeah. But anyways, he's got the Veil, as you can see. It's disgusting overall. He's got Lander's Ethereum with Rotom Wash, Cobalion, Decidueye, Miltank, Alolan Persian, Clefable, Alolan Ninetales, Mesprit, Yanmega, and Mega Charizard X. The Z users being Lander's Ethereum, Alolan Persian, and Cobalion. But yeah, if you look at Veil on his team, mixed with things like Charizard X, Landorus, Therian, Cobalion, even Clefable, like this team is just not fun to prep for at all. There was a few lapses in this, or a few like small creases in his team you can figure out and try to play around. I'll go ahead and explain that in a second, but kind of things I expect to see for sure in this matchup on his side. Landorus Therian, 100%. That thing, it can run offense against me. I'm expecting like a double dance set if he brings anything. Just has a really good matchup against me. Rotom Wash, it's really good. My best check to that is Shaman, and he can just Volt Switch out on that every time. And Shaman, you'll see, is not on this team we're bringing, just because I feel like him getting that Volt Switch momentum on Shaman lets a bunch of his offensive threats that can beat Shaman one-on-one pretty easily in. So that's not something I want to allow. Which also means I'm going to be very weak to Rotom though, so this game. So I need to come in with a couple things this game that can help me with that. He's got the Cobalion there. If I do see the Cobalion plus Landorus on his team, which in my opinion, I think it's like a 50-50 if Cobalion comes or not. But if it does with Landorus, I'm expecting the Cobalion to be his rocker, and then Landorus to be the offensive double land set like I was talking about. Then he's got the Decidueye, which could come. Things like Miltank is not bad. It's a really solid check to something like a Frostlass on my team, so if he expects like a Frostlass to come and he wants a good check to that, he can bring Miltank, because it takes on both stabs very nicely with Big Fat. Alolan Persian is pretty annoying, because if it's like a Choice Scarf Alolan Persian, Parting Shot, that's pretty annoying for my team overall, but I think I could deal with it. Clefable is a monster threat, obviously. I think I have ways of dealing with it though. Alolan Ninetales, I do expect that to definitely come, as it just getting up Veil against my team is very nice, as he has so many good setup options, and he does have a couple setup options that can ruin my team's day. So yeah, that being that, is scary. Down there at the bottom, of course, the Mega Charizard X is a monster. The Mega, if he brings like a I was scared about this for a while if he brought like a Choice Specs Mega set, because I don't have a switch into, but a lot of my offensive mons just outspeed it anyways and can body it, or Oko it basically. So if I could play my pivots right around it, then I feel like I'd be in a good spot there. But yeah, getting into my team, guys, you're going to see the first Pokemon on my team being Tapu Fini Choice Specs, Modest Choice Specs actually. It has a really nice speed tier right here, so I'm speed creeping a max speed Jolly or Timid Decidueye. So basically, I can 2-hit KO that. It cannot knock me out unless it's like banded offensive, I believe. Yeah, I think that's like the only way. But Decidueye takes me out. So that's something to be scared of. And like, he has no fairy switch-ins on his team. Like, if you look at his team, he has no fairy resist. His steel type being something like Cobalion, which is part fighting. His fire type being Mega Charizard X, which is part dragon. And then I don't believe he has a poison type. Unless I'm looking over that. No, I don't think he has a poison type. So yeah, Specs Fiend just looked really good this matchup, as it could just hit his team really hard. I believe it two shots everything outside of like Assault Vest, Mesprit, which seems like the only logical thing that I could think of to prevent 2-hit KOs against my Feeny. But even then, it wouldn't be the most reliable switching, because it wouldn't have the best reliable recovery. Yeah, so this mon's going to be very solid against him overall, and it pairs nicely with a mon I have coming up in a little bit. I'll just explain why, but getting into my next mon, we have Banshee the Frosthouse making its appearance, or her debut, I guess you should say. As definitely excited to use this mon. And it's got a couple purposes this game. It does get hard countered by a couple mons on his team, which is pretty annoying, but nonetheless, I'm going to try to utilize it as best as possible. as we are packing the Aurora Veil, so it's basically a Aurora Veil counter if he brings Aurora Veil, which I'm highly expecting because, like I said, his offensive mons against me are pretty difficult to deal with. So if I can get up some extra defensive help there, that'd be great. This is a taunt user as well, so if we're in a situation where it's Frost up against Null Ninetales, maybe I can get a taunt off on his Aurora Veil instead of mine. That's always a potential idea. I can always taunt his rocks on something like a Cobalion, because I figure like if a Cobalion ever comes in against this, it's pretty obvious he's going to go for rocks over a tag or something. But if he were to attack me, I do have my Focus Sash on deck, so I can play around with that. Ice Beams for General Stab. His Landorus is just a monster threat, and like I said, I expect it to be double dance over something like Scarf. And if it is Scarf, I have my Sash right there, and Ice Beam can OHKO it back. If he's Yachi Berry, then I can. The only way he would beat my Frostless 1v1 if he's Yachi Berry like Rock Polish. So, but even then, he would have to break my Sash with something. So this Frostless is just really good for Landorus overall. As this mon does get hard countered by the Cobalion though, like I was explaining. The best thing I can do to it is really taunt, and then I have to pivot out appropriately. Yeah, it's really tough. We are running enough speed for a level 9 max speed, a level 9 tails, and then we're running max HP. We don't really need special attack. I believe 12 in special attack. No, we definitely KO Landorus. I don't remember exactly what the HP is for, and I'm pretty sure I just threw the rest in special attack, knowing that I wanted a little bit stronger hits against things like the Decidueye and stuff, in case he's like really bulky. That was something I wanted to play around with for sure. So yeah, that's Frostlass. It's going to be a very good support option for me this game. I think it could be good with the Ice Beam late game potentially. That's the idea behind that. I'll get into my next mon. This is a very important mon for my team this week, especially for one mon in particular being Rotom. We're bringing Fusion, our Tornadus Therian, with the Grassy MZ, Hurricane, Grass Knot, Taunt, and Defog. Enough speed to outspeed his fastest Pokemon on his team, barring Choice Scarf being a lone person, or barring any kind of setup, because his team does have so much speed setup potential, so it's pretty scary there. We're rocking Hurricane because he does not have a Hurricane resist outside of Rotom Wash, which is really nice, so this mon can really just bring the pain for sure. And for a while I thought the hail affected Hurricane, but actually looking a little bit more into that, it's still the same accuracy as it would be outside of hail. So I guess it's only the sun that affects the Hurricane accuracy. That's pretty, or not the sun, but the sand that affects the Hurricane accuracy. So that's nice. We have a little bit better chance of landing our Hurricanes. Hopefully we can. But the main, I wouldn't say the main reason, but one of the main reasons we have the Grass Knot plus Grassy Z on the Tornadus is it gives me a really good shot to knock out defensive Rotom variants. If he's pretty Spadef heavy, then he'll live for sure. But getting off a ton of damage on that is huge. I can live any one hit from it, barring it's like Life Orb or Specs, which is really nice. Max special attack just gives me the best shot, like I said, with the Grassy MZ to knock it out. Hurricane Spam is just really fun, and then I threw the rest in Fizz Def, I believe, for lets me take on Decidueye. It lets me switch into Decidueye a little bit more comfortably, like Spirit Shackles and stuff, so that's nice there. So yeah, it's basically Tornadus. It's got an important role. If I can land the Grassy MZ on the Rotom, I feel like I'm in a good position to cripple his team down, because that thing is just a monster against my team. If I mispredict on a certain turn, get my Grassy MZ off on something else, or just or if Tornadus just dies before I'm able to weaken the Rotom, then I'm going to be in big trouble. So that's something I need to do sometime in the game if I can. Get into my next mon. This mon is what pairs really well with my Tapu Fini this week, and that is going to be my Mew. Our Tangenberry Mew with Ice Beam, Rock Polish, Baton Pass, and Roost. You are allowed to bring Speed Pass, but you are not allowed to bring, like, you can't pass Speed and Attack or something, for example. So for a while I was like, oh gosh, I could bring a Nasty Plot plus Rock Polish, but you can't do that. You can't do both. You could do one or the other, but Rock Polish was definitely more important in the sheer fact that if I'm able to pass a Rock Polish over the top of my Specs Tapu Fini after weakening his team a little bit, then it can just go ham and maybe potentially clean up. So that's the idea behind that. And whereas this Mew does get checked by a few things like Cobalion, once again, Cobalion's pretty annoying mon for me to deal with. I can't always Baton Pass out to the appropriate mon, whether it's Tornadus, whether it's Tapu Fini, whether it's, I guess those two mainly, but yeah. This Mew is pretty nice. We have the Tangenberry for the Yanmega because I really just don't have a switch into Yanmega at the current moment. If I'm ever able to get a Rock Polish up and never, or if I'm able to just live an attack comfortably, go for the Rock Polish and Baton Pass off into something, and then just get rid of the Yanmega, that'd be great. Looking at it now, maybe Tangenberry wasn't the best option because I could just play my pivots around that thing maybe better and then give Mew a little bit more important item, but I figured like in the time building it was pretty important. But pretty complex EV spread here. I believe the speed we are creeping for, once again, max speed Decidueye. So I'm able to, for example, Ice Beam, pick that off if it's ever weakened, or if I want to roost off, I can pick that off there. We're very defensive overall. It gives me the best way to take on a. I believe if he's Jolly Zard X, we take a +1 Flare Blitz. That might be a lie, I'm not sure on that, but overall gives me the best chance to take on Zard as well as Landorus. We can take on a Choice Scarf Landorus, Earthquake for sure. We can take a I think we take a +2 regular Earthquake from Landorus. We do not take a +2 like Groundium or Flynium, which is unfortunate, but what Mon really does, so besides a few. And then we threw 28 in special attack. It basically ensures a KO on offensive Landorus. If he's running 0 bulk or like 4 HP or something, we can ensure that KO with Ice Beam onto it, which is pretty important if he's bringing the Double Dance Landorus like I'm expecting. And then obviously Roost for longevity. For a while, I had Stealth Rocks on this Mew, but I just figured Roost was way better. I needed longevity, and I do have a Stealth Rocker in the back that you'll see I decided to bring. But get into my next Mon. Another Mon making its debut. We have Tempest, the Mega Manectric. Yeah, Ben, well, we are bringing it. We are bringing it. But anyways, we have Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Roar. With enough speed to outspeed yet again, as fastest Mon being the Alone Persian, as we were able to run Modest, so this is really, really nice. This Mon's a really good pivot against his whole team. His ground type being the Landorus, obviously 4 times weakness to the Ice typing, and I'm not expecting to carry the Yachi Berry this week, so I don't think that'll be a switch in like ever. To a Volt Switch, something like Miltank, not really Decidueye, something like a Clefable, something like that. The Clefable has the potential to set up on me, so I do have the Roar on deck, which is something. And like I said, his team is just set up heavy, so I decided Roar on here was very, very essential and just good overall. And I believe we threw 32 in defense to allow me to take on a Scarf Earthquake better from Landorus. I think that's the main reason, but also once again, it just against some of his physical mons, it just lets me deal with that better. If he's bringing physical Cobalion or like physical Decidueye, I can take a few hits better from that if I have to pivot in and out. So that's kind of important there, I felt. But yeah, Mega Manectric overall, good pivot. Roar, very good stable move I feel like on this. I do not have Overheat, so I can't really spank the Decidueye as hard as I would like to, or the Cobalion for that, but it is what it is. Get into my last Mon, we are bringing Steelix Joey right here. Once again, this Mon, I like using Steelix a lot. This is the second time we're using Steelix, so we're packing the Aqua Berry because it allows me to take on a +1 Mega Charizard X's Flare Blitz, which is really nice. Earthquake can 2-shot it. If he ever wants to try to set up on me for some reason. I do have Roar as well because I can deal with Clefable, because I don't really want to take Flamethrowers from Clefable over and over, so he's like max defense with leftovers. I don't believe Heavy Slam can 2-shot. It might 3-shot, I don't know. Maybe 2 shots, I don't know. I can't remember, guys, I'm sorry. But anyways, we do have the Stealth Rocks on this. Stealth Rocks are really nice for some of his offensive weapons, like the Charizard X, the Alone Ninetales. It prevents it from coming in and out, Veil over and over, which is nice. The Mega, which I figure is a very big threat, does 50% too. Once I get those rocks up, he does definitely have the potential to bring Defog, but that does mean he has to get rid of his Veil if he does have it up. So that's another option. Also, this monster is a very, very good check to Alone Ninetales, which I do expect to see. And then we're running enough. But yeah, if I don't remember what the spell was for, I'm pretty sure I just threw that on after I filled out my defensive gaps for the Charizard and stuff. Now I think the attack investment was to. Oh yeah, the attack investment was to ensure I could take out a Alone Ninetales at full with the Aurora Veil up, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's basically going to be it from here. I'm just going to go ahead and get into the battle, guys. Alright, we are back, and as you guys can see, let me go ahead and flip this around real quick. Yeah, as you guys can see, he brought a lot of the stuff I was expecting. He didn't bring the Mega, which was very enlightening at the moment, but he did just bring this team, so it's not that much better. He brought Landorus Therian with the Road Wash. He brought the Cobalion, so once again, I'm expecting that to be offensive Landorus. He brings the Charizard X, no surprise there, and the Alone Ninetales is pretty annoying to deal with, and then the Decidueye, which could actually be pretty annoying as well. But coming into this game, Rotom Wash just looks really good against my team. I can obviously Hydro Pump the Steelix, don't have to worry about that. Mega Manectric does have to Mega Evolve turn 1, so we can just Volt Switch out on that. He can Volt Switch or Thunderbolt on the Feeny. He can do the same to Frostlass. He can smack the Tornadus. And then the Mew would be a somewhat. Mew is not built to deal with a Rotom Wash, so it's not exactly our best lead there. So I'm actually going to lead it with my Tornadus Therian on turn 1 because I do have the Grassy Z on deck. And yeah, he's going to lead with the Rotom here. You're going to see it's definitely a fair lead. It's like one of the most popular universal leads you'll ever see. Let me go ahead and get back. And yeah, it's one of the most popular leads you'll ever see. These are like 2 of the most common leads ever, but Yeah, we're gonna lead here. And this man had the audacity to ask me what my Z users were turn 1 in the game. And yeah, I wasn't gonna lie because he could just look at the doc right away. But I told him Mew, Tornadus, and then Charizard. So right away, like I was never gonna blow the Gracium turn 1 anyways, but I had to put that fear factor into him because I do have the potential to knock him out. If I was like modest Tornadus, which I could have been, I guess, but I wouldn't have outsped the Alolan Persian, then I had a better chance to knock him out with the Gracium, so that's something he needed to respect on her turn 1, which I definitely expected him to switch out here and scout for it. Not really thinking about what he would switch out into, I just went out to my Mew, as I felt like it was a pretty fair play, as he does decide to go out to the Charizard, so not exactly the best turn for me here, as he's going to decide to Mega, stay in, and I'm actually going to Baton Pass into my Tapu Fini because it can smack something. Whenever he wants to switch in, does not enjoy taking it. I know I can take a Flare Blitz from this Charizard, not comfortably, but I know I can take it. Nonetheless, so that's what I decided to do here. I decided to go for the Baton Pass, as that does 56%, so that is monster damage. So I need to figure out a time I can get a Roost off with Mew again, to be sure I can deal with some of his monsters on his team, and then Roost up and then Baton Pass when I need to later in the game potentially. But we're gonna go into our Tapu Fini right here. He does not have a Moonblast resist, like I said. I could have clicked Hydro right here, but the Decidueye is kind of a likely play, and this should do anywhere around 60% if he's kind of offensive, but as you can see, it does 51% to the Decidueye. So he's running a very, very bulky Decidueye overall, and very close to a 2-hit KO. I wanted to kind of stay and see what he would go for, but it wasn't really worth it. I didn't want to take the Leaf Blade damage early on, as he could just smack it on me. It would do a ton, so it's not something I want to deal with right away, as I can just pivot out into my Tornadus. Very easy switch for me, as he is just going to go for the Roost, so he gets right back up to full, but I'm going to go for the Hurricane right here, as he actually stays in, and I'm just playing it pretty safe, going for the Hurricane. Like I said, if he goes Rotom, that pretty much ensures that my Gracium Z will knock out most Rotoms then, because I'll get the Hurricane damage off on Rotom, and then I can hit it with the Gracium Z and knock it out. And I don't think if he goes to Rotom now, he will expect the Gracium, so I'm just going to go ahead and blow it off, and he doesn't lose much by Volt Switching, so I figured that was my best play. As he's going to U-turn right here, so that's definitely fine for me. I got a ton of damage off on the Decidueye, and that means Tapu Fini is in an even better spot at the moment, so that's good there. And he's going to go to the Rotom, like I said. Right here, I am just going to blow it off. I have a chance to kill him if he is max defense. I don't remember after the game if I asked him this or not, but he does live on 3%, as you can see there, so he could have had investment. I'm not sure if he did not have special defense investment, then I just got the lowest of low rolls, but I definitely do think he had SPDF investment to allow him to switch into this even more comfortably. As he's just going to Volt Switch out here. It does a good chunk to me, 64%, so that's not obviously what I want to take. As he's going to go to a low Ninetales pretty confidently. I know he's going to go for the Aurora Veil right here. And I'm actually okay with letting my Torn go down if he does decide to attack me. It did its job in weakening the Rotom as well as it could have. Obviously, Hurricane spam would be nice throughout this game, as it does hit his team extremely hard now. I'm going to click Taunt on the expected Aurora Veil, as he actually does choose to go for the Aurora Veil, so that's great there. We do get to save our Torn. And I make a pretty obvious play right here, in my opinion, now that I look back at it, as I go into my Steelix, and he's going to make a good play right here and double out into his Decidueye. Basically ensuring that he gets a Roost off, he can take any one of my hits. Heavy Slam does a good amount, you'll see here in a little bit. He's going to go for the Roost as I get out my rocks. Kind of want to scout out for his move pool. He could potentially be Defog on this set, so that's something I want to watch out for. He Roosts right here. I want to go for the Heavy Slam, scout out the damage, as that does 47% to him. So that does mean I believe he's close to max HP. I'm not for sure on that exactly, but he is more of a SPDF variant, I'm expecting, after seeing that damage. If he was defensive, it would have done a lot less. So yeah, not surprising after my Fini Moonblast only did 51, but it did a lot, for example. So right here, I believe I Heavy Slam again, which was a pretty bad play on my part, because if he was going to defog, he was going to defog now. Actually, do I Heavy Slam? No, I Roar right here because why did I Roar? I'm pretty sure I Roar right here because he could have went into Cobalion, for example. And he could have potentially got up in his rocks, which is something I didn't want to deal with. But he is going to reveal the defog right here, which is really cool. He did decide to bring it there, but that is good to note for later on in the game. That means his Decidueye only has one more move, and in my opinion, it has to be Leaf Blade or Spirit Shackle. So if it's Spirit Shackle, for example, my Tapu Fini can deal with that, and it can basically pretty much put in the work against his team. If it is if it's Leaf Blade, then my Mew can set up on it more freely, which is nice to know. So that's good to know that he did show the defog there. As he brings in, I Roar out into the one Mon that I did not want to see, which was the Landorus. So that's definitely not something I want to deal with right here, as if he set up Landorus, I don't want to deal with that. But I do have ways. But right here, I am going to go for the Stealth Rocks once again, because if he does decide to go for the Rock Polish, for example, I can just roar him out the following turn. I can live any one hit besides like a Ground EMZ. If he does show Ground EMZ, then I can Revenge Kill with Frost Blast, or at least scare him out, and I still do have my Rocks up, so that's really good there. If he decides to go for the Rock Polish right here, oh yeah, I said Rock Polish already. Yeah, like I said, my Frost Blast still has its Focus Sash intact, so we can basically take on a set of landers at this moment. He's going to show the Rock Polish right here as I get on my rocks, and unless he throws off a Ground EM right here, I can live any one hit and roll him out, so that's very nice for me overall. He's going to show the Earthquake. It brings me down to 15 after a crit, which is actually pretty unfortunate, because that means my Steelix is not going to be a switch into Ninetales anymore, so that's pretty rough there. I want, hopefully that doesn't allow him to get up any more Aurora Veils throughout the game, as not having Steelix is a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to roar him out right here. It does bring in the Ninetales, which is nice because we get the chip off on it. I don't believe he can knock me out with any one hit right here. Actually, he definitely can knock me out with any one hit right here, because I forgot about the hail damage. But if he had a hidden Dark Fire, he would definitely knock me out. But I was saying, for example, if he had like an ice move, I didn't know if it killed me, but it definitely does after the hail damage. As I believe I go for the Heavy Slam right here anyways, but like I said, I can kill a Ninetales even with Aurora Veil up with my Heavy Slam. I did not calculate for the Intimidate, so it's going to be a roll right here. I believe it's a little bit of a roll in his favor to live. He's going to go for the Aurora Veil. I go for the Heavy Slam. He actually lives on 10%, so maybe have a little bit of HP investment in this, so wouldn't surprise me there. He's going to be able to knock me out with the next following turn. Right here, I'm pretty sure it took a while to decide what I want to do, but ultimately, I was put in a pretty rough position because he has a Veil up. He's up 6-5 at the moment. We do have Rocks up, which is nice, and his team is pretty weak, or weakened at the moment, which is kind of nice. Or not pretty weakened, it's a little bit weakened, but it's in a good spot for me, I guess I should say. But right here, I'm going to go into my Frost Blast, and I'm just going to get my Veil up on my own right here. As he decides to throw up a Moonblast, so that does very little to me. As I believe, yeah, right here on this turn, I expect him to switch out into Cobalion, and I go into my Mew. Basically gives me a free Roost up, which is very nice. And yeah, I expected Cobalion because even if he stayed in and just started attacking me with Ninetales, I could Roost off on that. His Moonblast or whatever strongest move he would have had would have done very little to my Mew, and I could Roost off on that either, or Roost off on that too. So yeah, this was the play I expected him to make. If he made the play in the Charizard, I believe with the Veil up I could live any one hit, and I would have to make a play from there. So, but he does make the switch into Cobalion. As right here, I am just going to go for the Roost, like I said, and he's actually going to shield a Calm Mind. So this was this scared the crap out of me because I did not prep for Calm Mind Cobalion at all. I figured if he brought the Landorus with the Cobalion, like I said, this would be mainly his Stealth Rock Cobalion. I did not expect for both of them to be set up, so that's a threat because Calm Mind, if you look at my team I have left, every mod on it is special. Yeah, I don't really have physical coverage on my team left, so this is beginning to be a big threat. As my one Roar is gone, I do have one Roar left on my team, being my Mega Manectric, so I'm going to have to make a play here in a second. As I'm going Baton Pass right here, if I wanted to take a hit, I was going to take it with Mew right there. Baton Pass out into my Manectric. Now, this next play, a lot of people were like, what took you so long to make this play? But there's a couple things going through my mind here. If this is one of his users, for example, he did not show a Z-move yet on his Landorus because he just Earthquaked him onto my Steelix, so I had this feeling that this could potentially be his user, his Cobalion. So I debated right here, if he has a Z Focus Blast, he can knock out my Manectric, and he basically wins from that point. From that point on, I can't do much to him. I would have to go out to, I believe, Torn, or I would have to probably go out to Torn, start Hurricane Spam, and fish for confusions, and just it wouldn't be a fun way to win at all. Or I would go into Topic Feeny and try to start Moonblasting and get as much damage off as possible until I can revenge with Torn, possibly. But basically, the Cobalion would have done enough damage to my team to prevent, or to basically ensure that something like Zard or Landorus won later in the game, or even like Decidueye could beat my team. But he Calm Minds on the turn out Baton Pass, which is not a problem at all. But the reason I was considering switching out here on the Z Focus Blast was, I was potentially going into my Frost Blast right here because I could eat that up. I could taunt the following turn so he couldn't Calm Mind up anymore. I would probably just have to sack my Frost Blast off at that point, which would suck. But then I would go right back into my Mega Manectric and I would click the Roar. I could live any one hit. And yeah, that would be my play I was thinking about making, but ultimately right here, if he Calm Minds again, he can knock me out with the Focus Blast afterwards, which I'm thinking isn't a bad play because he might be like, he could still be like stealing him, so to deal with like Feeny and Mew better, so, and like this thing's special coverage isn't that great, and like the only thing that could kill me right now is Z Focus Blast, like I explained. But I actually decided to stay on the potential Calm Mind, which he does go for, luckily. Oh my gosh. And actually, he shows another cool tech. He has the freaking Adrenaline Orb, which raises his speed after Intimidate, so that's a really cool prep on his part right here. This is called Cobalion set, man. If we ever play later in the season again, I'll have to prep like twice as hard for this thing. But yeah, he goes for the Calm Mind again, which I am like, oh my god, thank you. But luckily that we phased that thing out. We killed Rotom right there, which is okay with me, but it actually scares me a little bit too because the Veil is still up. And he does have options like the Landorus that can come out now. So let's say his Landorus is Rock Polish at this point. If he sets up a Rock Polish on my Hidden Power Ice, then he can pretty much be in a good spot to take my team out. I don't know if he can touch my Torn that well, but he'd be in a good spot. Or I don't know if he could knock out my Feeny, I guess I should say, if he doesn't have a boost. Because my Frostlass's Sash is broken now, so I don't really have the best way of revenging a +2 speed Landorus, so that's scary. I didn't want that thing to come in next, but he's actually going to make the switch into Decidueye right here, which is okay with me, as I believe I just Volt Switch, yeah. His last turn of Veil, he does not use it offensively, which I was okay with. Going to Torn right here, as he defogs, which is definitely expected. Right here, I definitely expect him to go into a lull on Ninetales. So I debated going into my Frostlass. I could show up the Taunt then get up my Veil, and go ahead and kill that off because it is sitting at, I believe, 10%. It's not showing right now, but I believe it was sitting around 10% after the Steelix's Heavy Slam. So that was a play I was considering making, but also another play I was considering making is just clicking Hurricane right here, because if for some reason he just wants to stay in and like sack this off, which doesn't make too much sense, but if he did want to stay in and go for like a Spirit Shackle here, showing that it's his one move to attack, it could kill my Tornadus off here, and if I made the switch in my Frostlass will just die, and that's not something I could risk right here. It's not a play I expected him to make, but on the off chance he did make a play like that, I could not risk it. So right here, I am just going to go ahead and stay in, click the Hurricane, and we are able to knock out the Ninetales here. If I missed right there, my Grass Knot could clean it up afterwards, so that was fine. As he goes out to Cobalion right here, so this is once again really rough because if he goes for the Calm Minds, then he can start putting in work against my team again. He knows my Manectrix has Roar now, so that's something I need to be careful of. So I'm just going to click Taunt right here. I know he's pretty much just going to knock me out with whatever move he has. I can at least scout for that, as I'm just going to click Taunt right here. He cannot Calm Mind if he chooses to. As he's just going to go for Flash Cannon, so expected there, but just want to taunt him so he couldn't Calm Mind in the future. As we're going to go into our Mew. So this is actually a potential chance that Feeny could maybe clean this game up. So I'm just going to click Rock Polish right here, as he actually makes the aggressive switch into Decidueye. Seeing that my Mew is pretty supportive and probably doesn't have a way to kill this thing, as Ice Beam cannot kill this thing, especially after seeing its investment in like HP and especially Spadef. So Ice Beam was not the play here. I potentially could have just Baton Passed into something like Frostlass, but I am actually just going to hard switch into Frostlass. It doesn't make a difference here, as he's going to Roost, which I guess I gave him a little bit of a chance to just get his health back, which was a little bit of a misplay on my part. But overall, it got my Frostlass back in, and it was just an offensive nuisance against his team. He does not know I have Taunt yet on this Frostlass, so I can deal with the Cobalion that way, which is really nice. So that's good. So that's very, very good. And right here, I have, after this turn comes in, I have one more turn of Hail, so I can potentially get my Veil up right here. I don't know why it didn't occur to me that he would just click Defog, so I should have just Ice Beamed right here on this turn, as he is just going to click Defog as I click Aurora Veil, so good play on his part not letting me get that up. And now he gets to just go into Cobalion. As I click Ice Beam right here, I don't really lose anything by it, still 17%, and then I can just show off the Taunt on the following turn as he decides to go for the Calm Mind once again, or Stealth Rocks actually. Sorry about that, he goes for the Stealth Rocks on that turn, so this is a Calm Mind Stealth Rock Cobalion, so Calm Mind Stealth Rocks, 2 attacks, I'm guessing Flash Cannon and then Focus Blast. I think he told me Focus Blast out of the game, so that was definitely the set. So I make the switch into my Manectric here, as it can't do much to me with Flash Cannon, or Focus Blast would do a good amount to me, but it was definitely a fair play I wanted to make, as I don't think he'd Focus Blast on our Process anyways. He's going to go for the Flash Cannon right here, does 23%, so decent damage, as my Thunderbolt would have brought him very, very low right there, potentially killed him depending on his investment. So I'm expecting him to switch out, probably into Zard, maybe Decidueye, but I'm just going to click Volt Switch right here. Actually, Decidueye would make sense if I just clicked Overheat, so going to Zard definitely makes the most sense, as I can click Volt Switch right here. So this actually puts me in a very, very good spot, as the reason I didn't want to potentially sweep with Feeny a little bit ago against, when I was Rock Polishing with my Mew against the Decidueye, was because he, what was it? If I potentially get the Cobalion out of the way, I can sweep with Shadow Ball, which gives me a better chance to 2-hit KO the Decidueye instead of Moonblast. Moonblast is a potential 3-hit KO depending on the rolls. and he could take out my Feeny that way, and I still might be able to win the game with like my Manectric in the back, but this was just the way I approached it, as I believe I just fired a Moonblast right here, and this is great because he just sacks off the Cobalion right here, as Cobalion's going to go down. So if I'm able to Rock Polish up with my Mew, Ice Beam the Landorus off, I can then Baton Pass into my Tapu Fini, still at full health, and then it can clean the game up with Shadow Ball against Charizard X and Decidueye. So he's going to go into Decidueye right here, as I believe I make the pretty aggressive play in the process, as it didn't really lose me much. As he actually shows U-turn, so I forgot he was Defog, Roost, U-turn, and then I believe he already showed U-turn. So yeah, he's either Leaf Storm or Leaf Blade or Spirit Shackle at this point. And he's going to go into Zard. So right here, my play is 100% Taunt. It would be a choke if I did not click Taunt. I know it's pretty obvious he's going to click Flare Blitz, but there's really no reason for me to click anything else, as it would definitely be a choke. So he's going to click Flare Blitz, knock me out. He's going to take the recoil damage, which is pretty cool. I could go into Feeny right here and get a kill with Moonblast, which wouldn't have been a bad play, but his Decidueye is still at 90, I believe it was 99%. It's not showing right now, but it would be a potential 3-hit KO, and I didn't want that to come in and get massive damage off on my Feeny and potentially lose that way. So I'm going to play it the safe way right here. His Zardex is taunted at the moment, so I can Rock Polish up into Tapu Fini if I need. Let's say, I believe 2 Ice Beams at this point kill it. So, even if he shows Roost, I can always Baton Pass after the Rock Polish anyways into my Fini, pressure this thing out, and then I would still be in a position where I couldn't 100% sweep because the Decidueye is so healthy still, but clicking Rock Polish right here is a good play in my opinion because it lets me outspeed anything, and he doesn't even know what my last move is yet, so I'm expecting him to kind of make the switch out here into Decidueye or Landorus because it can offensively beat this, whereas I could maybe kill Zard right here, which would, you know, he wouldn't want that. He wants to keep this around for a little bit longer. But right here, he's going to pull the switch out into Landorus. This is great for me. This is great for me. I pull off the Rock Polish right here. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. If he lets me kill off the Landorus with my Mew at +2 speed, I can then Baton Pass into my Feeny and sweep with Shadow Ball. Because his Zard is so low, and Shadow Ball is definitely a 2-hit KO on the Decidueye. He's not the Ghost Resist Bear either. He is leftovers, we've already seen. So right here, I do click Ice Beam and I do knock him out. So that shows that he does not have he didn't have investment, if like very little, on his Landorus. And he's going to pull out his Zard right here, as my play 100% is to Baton Pass into Tapu Fini. Had he went for like the Thunder Punch right here, that would have been a good play because then he could have revenged with the Decidueye, but then I still had the Mew and the Mega Manectric in the back to pick off the Decidueye. It would have been too low at the point where it couldn't have boosted off. So right here goes for the Dragon Dance. I don't know, maybe, I guess that wasn't a bad play if I just stayed in Ice Beam with Mew, but I'm going to be able to kill with the Shadow Ball right there, and then Shadow Ball the Decidueye for 65%, and then he goes for the Leaf Blade. If he crit me right there, it sucked, but I went into Mew afterwards and revenged with Ice Beam. It wasn't range of Ice Beam after this point at 35%, even with his Spit F investment. So that was nice there, as he does not crit me though, and we are able to pull this victory out as we Shadow Ball the Decidueye. Yeah, we win this game 3-0. Definitely almost got 6-0 by Cobalion. That definitely almost happened, so I'm not gonna act like it didn't. Yeah, he had a ton of different potential chances to win, but I feel like I almost made the right play at almost every situation. But oh my gosh, I almost took Roar off on Mega Manectric. So yeah, he could have 6-0'd me right there if I didn't. Mega Manectric, MVP of the team, didn't get any kills, but MVP. Yeah, that was a fun game against Maine, my pal. But yeah. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, guys. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, so and for as far as the UPC goes, my last 2 matches actually got forfeited, so we are sitting at 7-2, I believe, plus 17 at the moment, and then we have 2 more matches before playoffs begin. We did clinch for playoffs, so we might have a couple meme matches coming, so I'm not sure about that. But anyways, guys, that was it for me. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and be sure to leave them down in the comments down below, and that's gonna be it for me, guys. Peace.